everyone. Or as the Cuomos call it, hump day. Too easy, I don't care. So how is CNN covering the Chris Cuomo scandal now? He was once their big star. But now, how do they feel?
Honestly, I never liked that dude to begin with.
His Hamptons parties this summer, not even that good.
Yeah, the caviar was very subpar.
I can't believe he made me stay in the guest house.
I can't believe we had to play pool volleyball in a non-heated pool.
I had to wash my own face.
Wow. Wow. I mean, we're still going back next year, though, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Cool.
All right. Nicely done. On Tuesday, Anderson Cooper did address the suspension. But look who was with him on set as he did it.
Jeff Tubin, John Dean, appreciate it. Some news now about this network. It involves Chris Cuomo, the host of Cuomo for Prime Time.
Yeah, that's awkward. Having Tubin there, as you discuss Chris, it's a weird message you're sending. That at CNN, you can't defend a prick, but it's all right to throttle one in public. Thank you, Emily. It also shows you how shallow the talent pool is at CNN. But I guess Anthony Weiner was busy. Weiner. Meanwhile, on his radio show, Chris Cuomo figured out who to blame.
You can fight against the other party, and you can fight against the media, but only if you have your party. He had the Republicans hating him. The media never really liked him.
So wait, the media never liked his brother. Are you sure about that?
How would you contrast Cuomo and President Trump's handling of the crisis?
Truth versus mendacity.
My Governor Cuomo, I think, is one of the heroes on the front lines.
Even lifelong Republicans tell me they look at Cuomo and they're like, God, there's a leader.
You see a spectacular political leader emerging from this in Andrew Cuomo.
Carl, what was the most important message you heard from Governor Cuomo?
Real leadership.
Yeah, I guess the media never liked him. And what better way to show their dislike for someone than by awarding them an Emmy? Following that logic, I better start building a trophy case tonight, because I hate my guts. But as Chris is being dragged, we're missing the big picture. And I don't mean a photo of Brian Stelter's ass, astrology sign. Chris is in trouble for supporting his brother. So he's a terrible journalist, but a hell of a brother. But what's the media's excuse for doing the same thing? Hate him or not, Chris did what any family member would do and broke whatever journalistic laws CNN still observes in the process. Fire him, I guess. But if CNN fired everyone for violating basic journalism, their newsroom would be emptier than your medicine cabinet after Cat visits you. Anyway, if anything were to happen to a sibling or a child in your family, jerk or not, you'd probably do everything possible to help them out. Except maybe Jesse Waters' family. Kidnappers could mail them one of Jesse's fingers and they'd be like, he's got 9 more. But if I ever get busted for something and my sisters don't help me bury the bodies, they are out of the will. Their loss is Cars for Kids' gain. Seriously, what's the point of having relatives if they're gonna rat you out about the body under all that venison you have in the freezer? That's why Joe let Hunter run all those bribery schemes. That and the 10%. So I get Chris. But the media, they don't have that excuse. They anointed his brother the next president because they liked his press conferences. They're so easy to fool that Jussie Smollett wishes they were his jury. The media loved the governor, and they weren't related except by ideology. Now the same people who say now that he should be fired were right there fawning over his brother as nursing home patients' bodies were stacking up like sandbags along a swollen riverbank. They cared more about Andy's sex life than investigating the nursing home calamity that was right in front of them. And it took sexual harassment to pique their curiosity. I get it, sexual harassment is bad. If anyone's butt is getting slapped, it's my own, and I pay consenting adults dearly for that service. But it is interesting how the media prioritizes and how they happily disown the very people they had protected for so long when it suits them. But for a while, they were on Team Cuomo. Apparently, top aides had been working the press to convince them to support the governor. And they did. In one case, Cuomo aides reached out to schmooze a writer for The Atlantic, who then quickly wrote a piece entitled, "Of course Andrew Cuomo isn't going to resign." Well, that aged as well as Macaulay Culkin. It's a little like you.
That's insulting to me.
Liz Smith, an advisor to Andrew Cuomo, revealed that she texted with MS MSNBC anchor Katie Tour during the scandal and claimed that the host repeated her spin on air. MSNBC, the same place that still employs a racist homophobe whose name rhymes with Joy Reid. But I guess if everyone goes after Chris, the creep doing the Louis Farrakhan impression every night sneaks under the radar. And then there's CNN itself. They've unloaded fake news like it was free government cheese. James Clapper gets caught lying to Congress about intelligence, then CNN hires him to analyze intelligence. Their Russian collusion lie undermined every institution for years. Their attacks on police led to the defunding of cops, contributing to violence that destroyed cities. They covered Florida when their COVID numbers spiked. Now that they're the lowest in America, they're quieter than Matt Lauer's work phone. They targeted Trumpers while coddling rioters. No wonder their ratings suck. Their numbers get any lower, they'll have trouble paying Nick Sandman. And now they cover Chris as though they were on top of this all along.
It was known that Chris Cuomo was talking to his brother, giving political advice, but in the newly released documents, you can see that Chris Cuomo is essentially working as an unpaid advisor, an aide, as if he is a staffer of the governor's, giving political advice, giving commentary, also working his own sources to try to find out more about what might be revealed about his brother.
Nice work, Pop It Fresh. He reports those facts as if they weren't pretending that the problem didn't exist for months. They hid this story until they could hide it no longer. And yeah, Chris Cuomo is a problem, but he's not the whole problem. You know, part of the tumor has been removed, but some of it is still there, and it's still growing, even as it expels one of its own. That's because the corporate press will do what's good for the corporate press. And when one of their own goes down, they're just happy that it's not them.